The South African Weather Service says we're currently facing La Nina conditions. In English, it's known as little girl conditions. But there's nothing girlish about the weather we're currently having. And forecasts indicate that La Nina will probably remain for the remainder of the year until early 2023. Let's speak now more on this with climate specialist Dr. Roland Ngam. Doctor, good morning and thank you very much for your time. Perhaps for the benefit of those who might not be familiar with the La Nina weather phenomena, what is La Nina?
Well, we have what is known as the El Nino Southern Oscillation, and this is really heating and cooling in the Central Pacific area. So we have El Nino, which would be the warming, and La Nina is the cooling. Mm-hmm. And so now, for the first time in over 50 years, we have this happening over three successive consecutive years. And that is really what has caused a lot of damage in Soweto over the last few days, and also in Durban recently, because we have unusual heating. Our oceans are heating very fast, and that is why we have so much unpredictability that sometimes even meteorologists are struggling to say for certain how the rain patterns are going to be.
Mm-hmm. And then this unusual heating, could we attribute it to global warming?
Yes, certainly, because we should never really run and attribute everything to global warming. But everybody agrees, and really those who have been tracking weather for a very long time agree that it is becoming a lot more unpredictable. Not just unpredictable, but the kinds of rainfall that we are seeing. So bucketing down about 300 millimeters in the space of 24 hours, something that usually takes much longer to happen, and causing waterlogged conditions, making it very difficult for the soil to absorb water. And that is why we see some of the things that we see in Soweto. So 100% warming has to do with it. And this has been happening since 1850, when the Industrial Revolution started.
Mm-hmm. Now, we know the seasonal forecast indicates above normal rainfall between now and April. But beyond this, should we expect just frequent, more normal rainfall? That in between the very heavy rainfall, we should also expect more normal but frequent?
Well, so I said at the beginning of my interview that this is something that is happening. It's very unusual now, and it's the second time that is happening in about 50 years. And so meteorologists are predicting that we are going to have about 2 weeks of rainfall in early January 2023, and that it is going to improve thereafter. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that La Nina conditions have been going on for about 3 years, and the prediction is that after these 3 years, it is going to tail off, and we're going to have a lot more drier conditions and probably another round of a drought. But these are just the predictions. You could see, for example, us going into another year of La Nina very unexpectedly. But most people believe that we have reached the end of a 3-year cycle, and it is going to switch back to El Nino.
All right. So meaning we shouldn't now be alarmed and expect that perhaps even our insurance premiums are about to go up at some point?
Well, that is a very important question. If we see trends that are happening around the world, with the rainfall that happened in Lower Saxony in Germany and in neighboring Belgium, they spent about 100 billion euro on insurance. Recently in Louisiana, insurance companies just packed up and left. In Durban, Santam spent about 7 billion after the Durban floods. Toyota lost about 28 billion. The city lost about 25 billion worth of property. What is going to happen is that premiums are going to go up for many people. But in certain areas, unfortunately, if you look at Soweto and the income bracket that lives in Soweto, many insurance companies are simply going to abandon these areas, and that is why it is critical, for example, for the city of Johannesburg, for the Gauteng provincial government, for the national government as well, to understand that climate change is real and put in place measures to tackle that.